All right, review of Parfums de Marly Sedley coming up. Hey Fragrance family, I'm David and I'm a Fragrance Bro. Of course, your best source for everything fragrance related. Today I have a review of this right here, and that is Sedley by Parfums de Marly. Now before we get started, this was sent to me for review by Parfums de Marly, but of course I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts no matter what. All right, so let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2019. It's classified as a woody aromatic. Notes are mandarin, bergamot, orange, grapefruit, lemon, mint, rosemary, sandalwood, cedar, cashmeran, geranium, lavender, olibanum, or frankincense, patchouli, vetiver, and ambroxan. All right, so longevity and projection on me was pretty good. Longevity, I would say, is in the average range, maybe even above average for me. And projection, I would say, was maybe average, maybe even a little bit better than that too. But it was still very good overall, so I can't complain about that, especially for like a citrusy type of fragrance like this. I'm really pleased with that. Season, I think this is great for spring and summer and daytime. And purpose, I think this is great for casual and for work. All right, so let's get my thoughts about this fragrance. I absolutely love this fragrance. I love it. I love it. I'm not always in love with everything that Parfums de Marly puts out. I generally like most of their line. I think they have a very good line that is very consistent and wearable. They have something that is very wearable at the same time is very elevated, and they all smell really high quality. Sometimes the fragrances they come out with are a little bit not as daring as I want them to be. Sometimes I want them to be a little bit more bold. And this one is not necessarily in the bold range, but I think it's something that is just a little bit different than the typical kind of woody citruses out there. And that's one thing that I really like about it. Again, it's made really, really well, impeccable quality, and it smells really rich. And that's what I love about Parfums de Marly fragrances. They all smell like they're expensive. And I think that if you're going to spend this type of money on a fragrance, I think you want it to smell expensive, and they do, and this one does. Out of the fragrances that I've tried from Parfums de Marly, I think this may be one of the more straightforward scents, but that's one reason why I really like it. It's kind of just a no-fuss type of fragrance. It's citrusy and woody, and that's mostly what you get. I do get citruses. I get the lemon, I get grapefruit, and I get mint at the top, and then as it dries down, I get a little bit of that kind of herbal thing kind of changing into a sandalwood heavy dominant fragrance. The sandalwood in here is something that I immediately fell in love with. Lately, a lot of fragrances that are introducing sandalwood are making it with some type of sandalwood that I really love. I haven't always loved sandalwood, but recently with some of these newer fragrances, I've just really gravitated to them. So this is one of them. I absolutely love the sandalwood in this, and it pairs really well with the citruses. I love how the citrus at the top has that kind of bright sharpness to it, and then it kind of just evolves and smooths over time like a smooth stone in some ways. Sometimes I think citrus fragrances can be boring, but this one is very interesting. And the best quality that I think citrus fragrances can have is when they have an almost cocktail-like aroma to them, like you're drinking a fresh cocktail. And this has kind of that type of thing. With the citrus and mint going on, I think that really kind of adds that kind of vibrancy to the fragrance that is really great. But what I just love about it is so wearable. You can reach for it a lot in the warmer weather, perfect for casual stuff. I think it could work for formal stuff occasionally. And though I don't think it's a date fragrance, it's not really a sexy fragrance, I think if you were to wear this maybe on a first date, or maybe you didn't have anything else and you wanted to wear this anyway, I think that this would work in a pinch. It's not necessarily sexy, but I think it has that clean and inviting, almost huggable type of thing going on, and I think it could be used for that sometimes. I think one of the criticisms is that it's probably a little bit too simple. It might smell a little bit too musky to some people. Some people might get the ambroxan right away, and they might be off-put by that. They might see it as some type of derivative of maybe Sauvage. I don't get that though. I don't think that any of those necessarily are something that I would say. And though I don't necessarily agree with those sentiments, I see where they're coming from. It is on the simple side. It is musky, and it might be perceived as something that is in the style of maybe a popular citrus, woody, musky scent. But I don't think it's in that type of vein. I think it's an elevated type of scent that sets itself apart in a lot of different ways, particularly in the sandalwood. And the sandalwood makes it to where it's something that I think is more luxurious and smoother and rounder. The citruses have a blend of citruses in there, so you're not just getting just lemon. And the ambroxan is in there, but I don't really get an ambroxan bomb like some fragrances out there. I think it just adds to the overall muskiness that makes a citrus woody fragrance just enjoyable to wear. To me, it's just one of my personal favorites from Parfums de Marly. And though it might not be a showstopper like maybe Herod is, or Owajan, or maybe some of those, it's one that I just absolutely love, love, love. And of course, it has a gorgeous bottle. This one is clear as opposed to some of the other fragrances in the line, which are opaque. The clear bottle, I think, really adds just a nice touch to this. Bottles aren't everything, of course. The scent is probably more important, but whenever they have a good bottle, I'm always appreciative of that. So overall, I love it. I think it's magnificent, and I would almost put this in masterpiece territory, though I'm a little reluctant to, but I would say that it's definitely top tier for me. Definitely top tier citrus woody fragrance for sure. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of Sedley by Parfums de Marly? Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let me know down in the comments. With that, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Fragrance X. Fragrance X is an online retailer that sells thousands of legitimate fragrances for a discounted price. If you're considering buying a fragrance, definitely check out Fragrance X. I'll have a link down below to them as well as a coupon. Thanks again for watching. And of course, if you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe down below and click that little bell so you get a notification every time I make an upload. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the way out. I'll love you for it. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave at the Fragrance Bros. Bye.